to Vacancy. This morning, I want to first apologize for last week that we had to come to you. I was under the weather and I had to take a short break. All right. Thank you so much for still being with us, and we promise to continue to give you the best of the labor sector and the employment sector. So this is it. Today, my focus is on why are jobs scarce? Why are there no jobs? Why are there people who are unemployed? Why is it that in a country that has nearly 200 million people, ready labor, the jobs are scarce, even the payment of salaries becomes to be a problem? And it's nice to begin to look at, it's important that we begin to look at the things that should create more jobs and why the jobs are actually scarce. So first, I'd like you to know that you can contribute on this show. You can call us on the show and let us know what you think, and let us know what areas you think can mop up the unemployment in Nigeria. I have a few points that I would mention and that will just help trigger you through the conversation that we'll be having for the next 30 minutes. One, it is that we are now a heavy import-driven country. A heavy import-driven country can't provide jobs. What it means is that people just bring whatever is made and we consume. A consuming country does not provide jobs, which is why in 2004 to 2005, when Obasanjo's government insisted that people who were manufacturing juice, packed juice, should come to Nigeria and package them instead of bring them fully packed. A lot of them took the 2 years of grace and decided that they were not coming. When the makers of Just Juice were asked why they were not coming to Nigeria to establish a packaging company, outfit, they said the packaging of the Just Juice was providing a lot of jobs for their people in their country. And if they bring it here to package, then those people will lose jobs. That was a pointer to the fact that they knew that packaging was also creating jobs. Because it's not just packaging, it means that you have to produce the packs here, and that will give a lot more people jobs. So in an economy where nearly everything, up to like 80% of the things that you consume are imported, you would have unemployment. But if all those things that were produced, that were consumed, were produced here, you will get more people employed. Then government policies need to be directed at ensuring that job creation is a steady. If you have a country where 180 to 150,000 people are graduating every year from either tertiary, from either secondary, from either university, and even vocational schools, it means that you have a job market that will continue to be loaded and filled up while the jobs are not commensurate with the number of people that are graduating. The third thing is that corruption has eaten so deep into our country that the people who are corrupt take the monies that are supposed to be used for development. And as they continue to do that, you continue to not have money to develop the country to the point where you will employ a lot more people. And so while you are trying to create more jobs, you have to tackle corruption. If you don't tackle corruption, for instance, if they say we need to build an oil palm production outfit in Benin, because of politics, because of corruption, somebody takes the money, doesn't do it, but no punishment is brought to the guy because he's a member of a party. That needs to stop. And then when people do that, you do not just let them go. You capture them, prosecute them, and jail them as a deterrent to others so that nobody tries to steal money from government again. But what happens is that people get away with all this, and so corruption continues to thrive. And as corruption thrives, people who have denied people employment begin to live large and send their children overseas, and the people they're supposed to have taken care of by providing those jobs are left in penury. All right? One other reason is party politics, like I mentioned. Party politics is one reason a lot of things are not done. Where somebody says, oh, because that man refused to support us when we were campaigning and during elections, this production of so and so cannot go to the person's state. Because this person is not, the state is not supporting us, we will not build the port in their state. Those kind of things, or if roads are supposed to be done, you begin to turn this provision of amenities like roads that are road infrastructure, you turn it into a party tool that unless they support us, we will not give them roads. Now, the last point that I'll be mentioning here now is a failure to activate sectors that create jobs. What are the sectors that create jobs in Nigeria? After agriculture, the next sector that can create a lot of jobs in Nigeria is the oil and gas sector. The oil and gas sector can create jobs through the refineries, because once the refineries begin to work, a lot more people will get employed. Look at the Warri refinery. Warri refinery has closed down, as it were. It has affected the people who work in Warri. Shell has moved out of Warri as well. And if Shell, that was driving the microeconomy of Warri, moved out to Port Harcourt, it meant that they took away the jobs that they had. Don't forget that when Shell was in Warri, people who worked in Shell would have cousins and brothers that lived with them, and those ones would have to use one amenity or the other, or use one service or the other, and it meant that people will get employed in Warri. But now they've moved out and they're taking those jobs with them. The vehicles that they were using when they were in Warri would have needed to be serviced. So we need to begin to trigger and activate those sectors that create many jobs: oil and gas, the refineries, transportation especially. Transportation creates a lot of jobs because people will have to move from one point to the other. Goods have to be moved from one point to the other. All right? And just before I go on the break, I'd like to also say that two more important parts of job creations and the sectors that need to create jobs are teaching. Education is key. People are having children every day, and these children need to go to school, be trained so that they can begin to add value to society. Entertainment is another. When I come back, I'll be talking about this one after this break. So we're talking about scarcity of jobs in Nigeria and the factors that are responsible for scarcity of jobs. In talking about scarcity of jobs, I'm also trying to mention the areas that attention needs to be paid for employment to be created. Politics is not a sector. Politics is not a sector. Politics is a sector that should drive other sectors. So the number of people that are going into politics now are going in there because they've seen that there's no other work to do, which is why they spend so much to make sure they get into office. Because as soon as they get into office, their own is covered. In fact, they are Vanguard unripe. So is this Vanguard unripe policy that is leaving us in the places that we do not want to be? I was talking about entertainment. Entertainment can mop up over 20 million Nigerians and give them jobs. Entertainment alone can employ over 20 million people. From broadcasting, from stage, from cinemas, from production crew members, from film villages. Especially, I went to India to shoot a commercial for a yogurt brand. And when we left Nigeria to India, I kept asking Mr. Benny, I said, I said, why did we need to go shoot this commercial in India? And he talked about power, he talked about the quality of production, he talked about the cameras, he talked about the time that he wants the advert to come out. When we got to India, I agreed with him. For a whole week that we continued to shoot in India, there was no power outage for 1 minute. No power outage for 1 minute. And so what it means is also that the power situation in the country has to improve for jobs to be created. It is not for generators to be sold, it's for jobs to be created. Because I went there to shoot that. It is because the owners of the company thought that there was value creation from my brand. And that's also part of entertainment. So there will be a lot more brand ambassadors, and that would employ a lot more people as well. Now, don't always think that when an entertainer gets a job, it is just for the entertainer. I'll break this down. Wizkid, for instance, has a road manager. He has an accountant. He has a lawyer. He has someone who handles his wardrobe. He has someone who is his PA. And so that's about like just 4 or 5 people who are working with him. He has a photographer. He has a videographer. Those are all the people that would have worked with him. Now, the videographer will not be the one that will edit his production. It also means that he would have drivers. And if he lives in a house, he will employ cooks. He will employ security guards. So an artist may look to you like somebody who is earning only big bucks. No, the person is creating a job. He's creating job opportunities for people who work with him. Besides that, it is the same artist that creates jobs for journalists. Journalists who cover entertainment need content like what Wizkid does to do their jobs. Anyway, I need to also mention that you can reach us on 0705 0792 427. I'll repeat slowly this time. 070 507 92427. And for the last time, 070 5079 2427. That's the number you can join us. The conversation is, what are the sectors that need to be focused on to create jobs in Nigeria? What are the sectors that need to be focused on? And why is it that we're having job scarcity? And so in answering that question would answer why we're having job scarcity as well. The entertainment sector that I'm talking about, the products that the musicians, entertainers create have to be marketed and sold. So Upper Iweka Road, Nnamdi Azikiwe Road, and all the people who have shops where CDs and DVDs are sold, that's creating jobs for those people. The market has to grow. Alaba was known for where people go to buy DVDs and other. Who creates the content that they sell? So the entertainment sector can mop up, like I said, over 20% of the unemployment in Nigeria. They can mop it up. And we just need to encourage that sector and see it grow with policies, with structures, and then with punishment for people who try to bring that sector down. The security is also important, but for the entertainment to thrive and for entertainers to begin to provide job opportunities, they need to also be encouraged with better policies, like piracy. Piracy has to be dealt with. Once piracy is dealt with, look at it. I understand we have a caller from Benin. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, my name is Chinedu. I'm calling from Benin.
Okay, Chinedu, yes. We're talking about job scarcity and the creation of jobs.
Yeah, my contribution towards that is that our major problem in Nigeria here,
yes, sir,
is that we lack electricity.
Okay.
That is the main problem we are having here in Nigeria. Let's take, for instance, when you go to a country, when you have a steady power supply, you can see that every business will be moving forward. Let's say, for instance, a storeholder, somebody who said mineral and other stuff, need a light. Let's say, for instance, a welder. Somebody that works things needs a light. Somebody that barb, or let me say stylist, you need a light. So we are passing through hell in this power problem. So if we can, at least generate this power problem, at least all this problem of non-employment will be solved. So that's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And so Chinedu from Benin believes that power sector needs to be activated for jobs to be created. And his point is that he's mentioned the welders, people who have who sell drinks and beverages, and by extension, people who own coal rooms and the rest of them. All of those people need to be empowered. Barbing salons need to be given electricity to operate so that their business can go fast. So I agree with him as well. It's major. Some of these sectors need electricity to activate its potentials. So I'll go to another sector, and now it's education. Education is important in creation of jobs. Education is very important in creation of jobs. Education itself can employ another 30 million people. Education alone can employ about 30 million people. Schools have to be built. Lecturers have to be employed. These days you see where a class in some of these primary schools have close to like maybe 30 people in a class. In fact, there was a picture I saw one, and the students and the pupils in the class were up to 50. I mean, 50 people in the class. That should be about like 4 classes. You shouldn't have more than 18 people or 20 people in a class. And so it means that you employ 3 more teachers. But every school is trying to cut corners. Every school is trying to reduce costs, but charge more in fees. So the education sector can employ a lot more. From teaching schools, teacher training colleges should be built across. People are building schools everywhere, but nobody is building teacher training colleges. The teacher training colleges are important to train primary school teachers, to train secondary school teachers, and then it's important as well to know that failure to build a strong educational base means that the quality of staff that will be employed by the established organizations will be poor. The quality will be poor. That's why you have like the immigration crisis that we had then, when they said they wanted to employ graduates in the immigration sector. People who were selling oranges went to buy white trunks, white t-shirts and white trunks, and bought canvas and showed up there because they heard that jobs were available. Even when they were not qualified, they showed up at the place, which was what caused the stampede. In fact, so I understand that people who had PhD were even there for jobs for graduates. So education is important. We need to focus on that sector and continue to develop that sector for our country to move. All right? I have a caller from Surulere. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Hello. Yeah, my take on the issue of unemployment
Yes.
is that, one, there is power problem, which is known by everybody. Another thing is, even if the power is being supplied, the so-called NEPA or PHCN that give bills, the bill is skyrocket, which we know the amount they bring for everybody is too high.
Estimated
That
bills.
is estimated billing. Yes. Another thing again is our government needs to do something on tax. Despite the fact that the job owners go everywhere to get by all means to get fuel to fuel their generator, still we still have the issue of tax at hand, which is another one. And again, looking at another aspect of transportation, for example, if anybody has his own private vehicles for transportation, government still goes ahead. All these people on the road collect money, but morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Is that an enabling environment for people to work? That's not enabling environment for my own sake, sir. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And so the issue of power has been mentioned again, and then estimated power billing, estimated billing, where the the staff of discos just decide on as the spirit leads them. They decide that you have to pay the particular bill. They might come and just see you driving a Benz and believe that that house should pay 20,000 that day. All right. So, and she also mentioned about taxation. Taxation, she believes, is also an issue that needs to be dealt with. All right. The last sector that I want to talk about that should create jobs for Nigerians is the agri sector. And when I'm done with the agri sector, we'll be going. So I'll go on a short break now. By the time I come back, we'll be ready to close with the agri sector. I'll be right back.
Got that.
All right. So the final sector. This is the largest sector. This is something that we have been known for, from timber to tomatoes to groundnuts to palm oil to rubber. These are the people. This is a sector that has employed so many people in Nigeria, but have been abandoned because of oil. And even the oil now, we don't have it. We're depending on a lot of people to help us revamp our oil sector, and we've abandoned our Greek totally. We'll take a call that's just coming from Nasarawa. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, how are you, sir?
I'm fine.
Okay, we're talking about the sectors that can create jobs in Nigeria and the sectors that have been abandoned. How do you contribute?
Actually, my contribution is that the sector I feel that I contribute in job creation is power supply. When we have adequate power supply, I think it will create enough jobs for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Federal government to also encourage the farmers, our farmers in Nigeria, to give them fertilizer and farming equipment, such like tractors and other things. So I think that will help our farmers to produce more food in Nigeria.
Thank you. Okay, I wanted to mention that there's a particular brand of fish that if the Igbo people don't buy close to 2 billion every year, it will be strange. It's the stockfish. There's hardly any Igbo home that you don't get stockfish. And the thing is that it's not produced here, but you can actually find it here. And so fish is an important part of agric. Poultry, piggery, abattoirs, snail breeding, rabbit rearing, all of these are things that could create a lot of jobs for people, but we are neglecting all of this. Agric is a major sector. People should begin to focus on it. Operation Feed the Nation at that time triggered agric on a big level, on a very huge level. I think we need to go back there. We used to have groundnut pyramids. We used to have cotton. We used to have a lot of all this. In fact, palm fruits and the rest of people are exporting it. Cocoa. And so all of these need to be reactivated for jobs to be created. We should not wait for oil prices to go up before we... A lot have not been done by past governments, but this time we need to begin to create jobs for our people, because once people don't have jobs, their children will not be trained and their children will not be educated, and it will leave the gap, a yawning gap for the employment and the quality of people that will be employed too. Until next week, my name is Ali Baba, and this is Vacancy. Have a wonderful week.
Let me make you see, I no go. Money, money, yeah.